Hi, it's Chris from Epix again. This is a short tutorial on how to use our certificate importer. This is going to be ideal for those clients that use the application, certificate and invoicing process to deal with the payment for the jobs that you're doing. So if you send a batch of applications off to your customers and then your customer comes back to you with a certificate approving the jobs, you can then use our importer to mark off those jobs within the system by entering them using a CSV file, which you can create in a spreadsheet package, and then importing that into the system. Of course, you can do it manually, but if you've got several jobs to process, it's sometimes a lot quicker and far easier for you and saves you an awful lot more time if you do it using the importer. Now, you may have already watched the videos that I've done on the generic job importer and also the project jobs importer. The process for certificate importing is very much the same, but just the exception is that there are fewer fields that you need to put into the file. As you can see on my screen at the moment, we've got 4 jobs here and 4 application references. These are 4 applications, all for this same demonstration client, all with different job references and different values. So the total value of all these jobs added together, the net value, is here, and the idea is that we've produced these applications and we've either sent them off in bulk or we've sent them to our clients as we've completed the jobs. And then at the end of the month we would then get from our client a certificate saying, yeah, you can now invoice us for the jobs on this certificate. So assuming that they would then send you a certificate totaling this amount along with the references here broken down by their individual values, you could then check off those within the system. Now, it is possible to do that manually, but if you can imagine having this for say 100 jobs, that would be quite a laborious task to do. So we have got the certificate importer. Now, the certificate importer requires a CSV file to be populated with certain information, and the information has to be presented in rather an exact way. So what I'd like to do is I'll show you a good example of how to lay the data out with explanations of what each field is and where you can find that data. So as you can see on the spreadsheet in front of you, we've got 5 columns that we have to provide data for. Now, the field names in this row here, those have to be laid out like that and spelled like that. This here is just my own description of what those fields mean, and here's an example row of the data. So if I now show you this spreadsheet side by side with our system here, the client reference, this is the reference that relates to this particular client. And by reference, I mean the Sage reference or the accounting reference, for example, that you may well have set up against them. So if you're in any doubt of how to find that, the way I always do this is I go to create a job, and when I type the name of our client here, this here is the reference, the bit that appears on the right hand side of that lookup. So in this case it's Epix 001. So going back to our spreadsheet, you can see that I've placed the client code here. The batch reference, this is the batch reference that's come back from your client. So it will be whatever they've put on the certificate. It's the certificate's reference. The date, again, is the date of the certificate. So usually that would be dated and that's come from your client. So that is the date and it has to be in a date format as shown here. The job number is the job number that originated from our system. So over on our system here, it's this reference here. And finally, the net value is the net value of the application. So for example, this one here would be £15.02. So whatever the net value is for the job line you're doing, that will go here. As the saying goes, here's one I prepared earlier. The client reference, of course, is the same reference for all 4 of our jobs, as is the batch reference and the date. However, the job number in column D here, you'll notice 4 job numbers, and those are the same as the job numbers that are in this column here. Likewise, the net value is the net value shown here. So once you've produced your file, so it looks a little like this, you simply save that as a CSV file, and then you're good to go. Back on our dashboard now, you will require the spreadsheet importer dashboard widget here, and that can be brought into your dashboard by clicking on the personalize button and adding that to your screen. Now there is a separate video on how to do that should you wish to see that, and that'll show you exactly how you can add that in. But the thing that you're looking for, I'll just show you now in the personalize list. It's this one here. It's the spreadsheet importer for importing jobs and certificates. So once you've added that to your dashboard in a place that you want it, it will look like this. So on our dashboard, on the spreadsheet importer dashboard widget, we click on choose file and we browse for the file that we've just saved containing the certificate information and press open. The file name will show here, and then all we do from the drop down list, we select the certificate importer and then we press upload. And we get a message confirming what's happened. So as we can see here, the certificate has been processed and 4 jobs with applications have been processed. So we know that that's been successful now. So now we can simply close that, and we now know that those jobs have been recorded as paid. And so just to prove the certificate was imported successfully, if we go back to our application report here, we can now see that the paid column now contains values matching the total from the net. If you've got any questions about that at all, don't hesitate to give me a shout. And of course, please do like and subscribe to our channel, that way you'll be notified of any other useful videos that come out as soon as we create them.